we go, here we go. Once again, in case you didn't know, it is time for the RemiX Morning Show. Right here on Black Power Media. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Let me introduce you to your host. We have no other than Dr. Jared Kalanji Jama Changa. Burn it down, Kim Brett. And Jackie Lugo.
Hey, yo. Shame on you. Hey, yo, you know it's crazy. I got up real quick for the folks in viewer land. Shout out to y'all, right? But we could see each other behind the scene, behind the screen, right? So I got up to plug my joint up, plug my laptop up. And when I got up, before I got up, I saw Jared and the Ear Doctor. I'm like, okay, it's just us. Then when I came back on the screen, we have the lovely ladies of BPM. I was amazed. So anyway,
Kalanji's Angels. Kalanji's Angels.
That's it. They showed up in synchronous time and everything.
That's how they do.
It was perfect.
Kamal style. They just, you know what I'm saying?
Stumbled in on time really well.
Yes. WWKD. What would Kamal do? Anyway, welcome to the RemiX Morning Show.
Yes, indeed. What's up, good people?
Good morning.
Good to see everybody. Shout out to the chat, to the remixers.
Okay. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood.
It is. It really is. It's. Can I wish a happy early Father's Day to the fathers, to all the fathers out here?
Okay.
Yes, to the fathers, to the daddies.
Peace to all the fathers out there.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Right on. Yeah,
hey,
right on.
I see how you do that New York accent on that father.
Fathers. I thought that's Negroes. Everybody say fathers, don't they? That's not just New York, right?
Yeah, no. We over in Southeast. We fathers. My fathers.
Okay.
You ain't my father. You can't tell me what to do. You ain't my father.
Me to every school principal. You ain't my father. Who are you talking to?
Now, I wouldn't tell the principal that because he would actually call my father and it'd be a problem. so all that shit sound good in them tree line streets, but in the real hood, it's gonna be a problem.
Like I'm gonna call your father. Oh yeah, well call him. You know his number because we don't got his number over here.
I was gonna say in these tree line streets, you might have to find him first.
You gotta find the fathers out here, Charlie. Them fathers. Listen. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna get too much anyway. But
look at that. Boy.
Y'all know.
Kill about the. Kill like Father's Day is Juneteenth. Anyway,
celebrating the fathers. Come on now.
Hey,
see, that's why I try to be nice because I used to be that person. I used to be that person on social media. Like, shout out to all the good fathers, all you bums can go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
All the ones that show up, all the ones that bring the diapers.
Right. So I'm trying to improve my spirit in fatherhood, in Father's Day, because I know good fathers. We got good fathers on screen right now.
Kim, let me ask you something. I'm beginning to believe that you might be the president of the He-Man Man Haters Club. Now, I'm just saying.
It's impossible. That's the thing. Well, anyway, that's a long story. I was thinking about this yesterday. I'm like, do I like men? And I said, I'm not sure if I actually like them. I'm sexually attracted to them. I don't know if that equates like. You know
it doesn't. It doesn't.
I feel
it does not. It does
anyway.
not.
Yeah, so maybe I don't. Maybe I don't like men. I'm just sexually attracted to them.
Okay. Well, shout out to Kim and her attractions.
Hey, I came out being nice though, Kalanji. I came out being nice, and y'all.
You did what? Kim was being nice.
I know, and then Jackie triggered something. But anyway,
what did I do? Jackie triggered.
For once, I was quiet.
I know. Well, let me do what I do best. Let's switch subjects. Today's the 51st birthday of Tupac Amaru Shakur.
Nice.
So definitely shout out to Tupac. I want to say this real quick because I'm this joint right here in 2006, right? I did. Now y'all like Pop wasn't even alive. In 2006, I did an interview with Bilal Sunni Ali, which is one of the uncles of Tupac Shakur. And the interview was called Tupac, Assata, and the Revolutionary Shakur Family. This particular interview, it was a print interview, and it's been cited in at least 7 books that I know. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that what Bilal did is he went through what no one had documented before, and that was the legacy of the Shakur clan itself. Because most folks, they hear the name Shakur, but they don't know how it came about and how folks were a part of the Shakur clan. And I just want to say that he talked about El Saladin Shakur, which was the patriarch or the elder Shakur who came up with that whole particular clan. And that is the same clan that our OG Baba Sekou Odinga comes out of as well. El Saladin Shakur was the biological father, I believe, of Zayd Shakur and Lumumba Shakur. And I'm pointing it out also because of the fact that a lot of people don't know that Sekou Odinga was actually the biological father of Yafu Gaddafi from the Outlaws. You know what I'm saying? So if you all remember Gaddafi from the Outlaws, that was he was murdered a month after Tupac was murdered. And Sekou Odinga, the former political prisoner who we've had on here, is his father. So I wanted to point that out and say, you know, if you all want to check out that interview, go to my my Twitter, which is my name right here, and you can check out this interview. I think it's a dope interview. It's one of my favorite interviews, and it was done 16 years ago. So just wanted to say that. Shout out to Tupac.
Thank you for sharing that, Kalonji.
Thank you for sharing that.
Now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I did not know that about Outlaw. That was wow.
Yeah. So you know.
And
real quick, before you go, Jared, let me just say it looked like a black full house over here, so I'm a stage left even. So I catch you
all the way to heaven. Dougie Fresh, he about to Dougie Fresh it all the way to heaven.
And nigga, shout out Dougie Fresh, man. You can't shout out Dougie Fresh enough, bro.
No doubt.
On sort of literally the other side of what Kalonji was just talking about is I dropped on Twitter this morning. It's on our channel, the interview I did with John Potash from out here in Maryland, who is one of the leading researchers on the history of Tupac's assassination and all of the interesting, fascinating connections to other assassinations and political prisoners, and it's just a very different component to add to all the discussions that are likely to be taking place today. So I'm going to go find Kalonji, the interview you were talking about, because I think that whole thing is deeply important. And something I don't know enough about, but I also encourage people to check out the Potash interview as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Details are wild, man.
Oh yeah. I interviewed him as well. I interviewed him on Riot Starter, and John Potash. Shout out to John Potash. He's a very interesting dude. You know what I'm saying? Let me just say that. You know what I mean? And
one of my favorite panels was I had the pleasure of being on a panel with him and your boy Professor Griff out here in Baltimore a couple of years ago.
Okay, shout out to Griff.
It's just wild to see the crowds overlap. That's all. Just
how did that work out, man?
I mean, it was cool. It was cool. You know, brother Jabari out here. You know, he's mad at me now because he's down with Boys
Soul Vibe Nation.
Not on this 18. Yeah. Soul Vibe is
shout out Jabari.
You know, shout out to Jabari, man. I love Jabari, man. He put all that together, and it's just funny to see. You know, just to see the crowd, the crowds over there. But it was cool because you get all these different perspectives. Like each of us have a very different way of dealing with it. And I just enjoy seeing the different crowds mingle every once in a while. I think it's funny, but yeah,
that's an extreme crowd right there. All three,
absolutely, all three,
4, even with Soul Vibers Nation.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They got their own, and then 5 because really, Baltimore has its own thing. Like they're
Baltimore definitely has its own thing. Shout out to Tubman City. Yes, shout out to
Charm City.
Yeah. What y'all call it?
Baltimore's Charm City.
Okay.
Well, there's a movement to call it Tubman City.
We call it Tubman City for Harriet Tubman, Underground Railroad. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard of
it. And Atlanta is RBG.
That's something y'all cooking up new?
No. Right. Well, you know, shout out. Shout out to PLM, the Pan African Liberation Movement down in Baltimore, which is family out there. Imhotep and that whole crew out there. So we've been stomping through Baltimore for years, you know, Precise Science and all of them, and like you said, Soul Vibers Nation, you know. So we you know, don't be thinking that we just in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? I be creeping through your hood, pull up. it is one sucker dude out in DC that I retired from slapping people. There's one cat that I just want to smack silly. I'm not even going to say his name. He's such a clown.
Oh, come on now. Nope, come on.
I mean, he put out a video one time of like myself and 3 other cats. And when I tell you the video got about 20 views, no, we all refused to watch it. So he wouldn't even get any views. Last time I checked, it's probably like 22.
Are you taking requests? Are you taking slap requests, Kalonji? I got a list. I got a list.
My slapping days is over.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, if you could only find one in DC,
you must not have really been looking at it. I really been stopping through.
Listen, man. Nah. You know what it is? I respect other people's right to slap who in their city. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then I reach out to the folks out there. I'm like, yo, is this cat slappable? They be like, yeah, man, I'm about to smack him for you. Like, I bet. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But anyway.
I need a slapper. I need a slapper on my team, dog. I need a slapper.
You know
I keep thinking it might be Jackie Luke mom, but Jackie said no, her slapping days might be coming to a close also. So I'm looking for a slapper. Chat, hit me up.
Hey, man. I got sons out there that's slapping folks now, so you know what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Slap him.
That's how we do it around here. Anyway, I'm non-violent though, but yeah. So it's gonna be a great day.
It's
definitely jokes.
That was such a bad joke.
What's that about slapping people? Oh, you said about me being non-violent? Jackie, stop that.
What?
Jackie, the original shit starter. I'm the riot starter. She the shit starter. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean?
Claim the crown.
Everybody, break out your Red Man videos.
That's right.
That video is a classic. That's classic. Just break that out, and we should. In fact, we should have Ear Doc. We should get a request line for Ear Doctor to drop that video in here one day.
No doubt. We need to get Red Man on here for real. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be a nice little joint.
That would be. But I would not. No, I would want to request that we not do that until we could do a live with him, like in person. Because I'm trying to burn one down with him. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Like if we're gonna do this, I feel like it has to be done correctly. So I might travel for that one. He would be on my bucket list for interviews. I'm a big Red Man fan. Man fan.
Definitely underrated. Yeah.
That was underrated. Wow, underrated.
Underrated though.
According to
I mean, with a lot of folks don't say his name when they talk about great MCs. You know what I'm saying?
They don't ask him Brown. That's why I come ask me. I tell you, Reggie Noble put him up there at the top, at the apex. Reggie been
Deontay spitting facts this morning.
See, now y'all gonna have to make me go grab my Red Man pictures because y'all know. Love him. Not obsessed with him, not groupie him, never slingshotted him the panties or nothing. But I love Red Man. He is amazing. He's so nice.
Kim, stop. Kim has the classics, right? Kim said, "I never slingshot in the panties." I remember like last year, she was like, "I ain't get my cheeks beat in a while." I'm like, Kim, you're in the air. I'm like,
but it only comes out every now and again, Kalonji. By and large, I try to.
But it's traumatizing, Kim. You have to understand.
Come on.
And again, anyway, Keontae, Muddy Waters, and of course, we always have to shout out Muddy Waters, the album, because that gave the birth of the name Mama's Biscuits. So,
but you know what, too, though. But we one of my favorite songs, one of my favorite Redman joints is a quote unquote posse cut with EPMD and K Solo, which is the headbanger.
No question.
Shout out to the headbanger. You know what I'm saying? And also another underrated joint is Redman and K Solo. What was the joint?
It's like that. My big brother.
Yeah, it's like that. Oh man, that joint right there is fire. And shout out to DMX who was beefing with K Solo. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother program. But anyway, we checking out the Remix Morning Show. You can get all things Redman all things Machiavelli.
Vocabulary is very loquacious and gregarious. Bump that
We're
to
gonna go to
grab
the
the
Spirit
dictionary
Festival.
and
I
find
gotta
words that we flip on the
practice,
MIKE.
you know.
Mike, my style be like, this crowd's hype. For going opposite, forget the bulls.
Uh-oh.
Come
We
closer.
got-
Why I lock it down like I'm supposed to. You battle me, you won. You thought of, but then you woke up. See, I'm about to mess up Red's lyrics. Let me be quiet.
You definitely about to fuck it up. You be doing that shit sometimes. I don't
Like
say
I
nothing.
said, we
You fuck it up like
early.
yeah, like the ear doctor fuck up somebody's name. Speaking of fucking somebody's name up, ear doctor, what the deal is?
Yo, ain't nothing like some Jersey MCs, man. I gotta say, we got some of the best. From Wise to Lauren to Redman to Tretch to me, man. Anyway,
Okay.
Yo,
for Jersey, Queen Latifah case could be made
You
for
heard
Jersey.
that he just stuck himself at the end of that list.
I was going. Oh, Jackie, I was going to ask who's me. I didn't know who that MC was. MC
What
me.
artist is me?
I
Is
was
this a new
confused.
Yeah,
artist?
like I didn't. I was like, when did they drop?
hey,
Who's
hey,
that?
Ear Doctor
man.
album dropping later this year. Get ready, y'all. Get ready.
BPM exclusive.
Boy,
Word.
Yeah,
I got mad
thanks.
mix. I got mad mix. Yo, we're gonna take a quick break right here on the Remix Morning Show and get to some sports real quick. I'm sure Jared will help us with the football a little bit later, but we're gonna get some other sports. Let's get it.
No doubt.
Remix.
All right. That's right. That album's coming. It's coming for you. Yo, so big up everybody. Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor in case you didn't know. Hey, we right here today on this beautiful Thursday. We about to get finished with June and get ready to go to July. And we're going to stay fly. So with that said, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Go to patreon.com and drop some change in the bucket on Black Power Media because you know we love it. And we needed to make this movement go even further. We've been doing it for over a year or so. We plan on doing it for many more. Now, let me get to sports. First, I wanted to talk about no other than my homeboy, LeBron James. LeBron James, right now, he pretty much Lakers want him to stay around and sign up, but he said, no, I'm not signing no extension. I'm going to wait and see what y'all going to do in the offseason to help this team, and I'm going to hold y'all accountable. That's the thing I love about LeBron James. He is not just a regular player. He is pretty much taking the power of the players and telling the ownership, this is how it's going to be done. We are the ones pulling in the money, and if y'all ain't with it, then hey, we could be out. We could do something else. We could go to another team. Y'all ain't putting no leashes on us. So big up to LeBron. Next, I want to talk about the sister who goes by the name of Allyson Felix. That's right. She is a track star where, let me tell you about her. This is hard right here. Nike offered her 70% less of her contract due to her getting pregnant. So they was like, yeah, we ain't going to pay you all that. So she told Nike, fuck y'all. Nike said, yo, know your place and just run. Like they told LeBron, just dribble. Know your place and just run. So Felix said, drop Nike, got busy creating her own brand of running shoes called Sayish. And the logo on her sneaker is, I know my place. So big up to this sister right here also. And big up to these athletes that's like, listen, we control the power. We are the ones bringing in the money. So that's what I got to say. And tonight we got another game. The Warriors going against Boston, which should be a good game. We're going to see if Warriors can take it out or are they going to go to a game 7. Let's see tonight right here. That's the sports. Let's get back to the Remix Morning Show. Yeah.
Ah, yes, but if only they had Black and political consciousness to put behind all that bravado they got for Nike and the. Okay.
LeBron does not have bravado for Nike when it comes particularly to the issue of international relations in China. He did shut up and dribble when it came, and Nike told him, if you really want that access to that billion, hush your face. and he
Shut
got
up your
right on
mouth.
board with the whole, China, human rights. Oh,
Yep.
he got real quiet on.
And also in the original in the beginning of the whole Black Lives Matter thing, when he was telling the team to go back and play and all that, when he was talking about the strike and everything, did we forget about that?
And Barack Obama told him to shut up and dribble.
I
And
don't
he
remember
said,
LeBron.
yes, sir. He
I
said,
remember
yes, sir,
Obama.
yes, sir, yes, sir, Mr. President. I shut up and dribble.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all know how to mess up a wet
That's right.
dream. I'm out of here. I'll catch y'all next.
Oh man.
Their doctor
man.
said, y'all
Sure.
done black
That-
too much.
Nah, that's that Mr. T logic. But anyway, I got kicked.
Look,
I'm sorry,
look what I
man.
found. Can y'all see this?
That's
Oh,
hold on. Leave it there, Kim. Hold on. Let me solo that for you. Let everybody get a good look at that.
Wow.
Right there.
Okay,
Look
who is
at
that? Ear doctor?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Dr. and Kim back and going to prom.
Back together again. The world. Hey, what's good? Well, that look like okay.
I mean, you said there was no slingshot, but
You said no cheeks.
So,
I don't know.
Negroes could not tell me nothing going back to Temple campus that night, y'all. Okay, you couldn't tell me nothing going back to school that night.
So now we know why Kim be walking around rapping.
That was the I caught the panties picture pose. What? What?
No, I
definitely
tell
was
you
that.
what he said though. I tell you what he said. He said, you got a boyfriend? I said, yeah. He said, all right, let's take this picture. I'm about to make him mad. I said, okay, let's make him mad. Let's make him mad.
Cuss Reggie Noble's wrist. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So nice. He's such a nice man. I can't say how nice Redman is. And he always has the good tree. Always has good tree. I smoked with him that night. And I smoked with him a few times after that. Red always stay blaze with the
That's
tree.
why I said what I said about the interview. It can't be no digital. I'm not showing up for no Zoom shit with Red.
Hey,
I'm about I might,
Hey, and I'm curious because I know weed is available for recreational sale in New Jersey. I wonder if Red is in that industry. If Red is in there.
He is actually. It's funny that you say that because I just saw something. They had some type of cannabis joint in New York. I believe last week or the week before, and actually saw him in the. Somebody took a photo with him. So yeah, he's definitely they're cashing in on it. How much we don't know because you're only getting so much out in that joint right there, these white boys. But anyway, anyway, we went from all kinds of shit real quick.
But let's let Red give us that segue. He was smacking them, so let's slap that map. Let's Red man the map. All right. Whoop. That's not the right one. My bad.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Remix Morning Show. Let's get into some news here. Would you all mind if I started with one this morning?
Sure.
Because I haven't been to my good folks at the Martins lately, but the good folks at Wall Street on Parade here. Who I just this wow. Yeah, what's going on here? Yeah, crypto carnage hits every asset class tied to crypto. So this was what I thought was kind of interesting about this whole thing. Like and again, when the crypto pushers were arguing and continue to argue that Bitcoin and whatever will replace the dollar, which is eventually going to crash. What and then claim that the established leadership and institutions are afraid of Bitcoin as a result. What those who have expressed fears have said is what is expressed here in this story. Not that they're worried about Bitcoin or whatever replacing the dollar. They're just worried about people investing in Bitcoin, the whole thing collapsing and then dragging a whole bunch of stuff down with it. So as they say here, it wasn't just cryptocurrencies that crashed yesterday. It was crypto exchanges, crypto mining stocks, publicly traded companies holding large investments in crypto, and crypto ETFs.
What are
I'll skip
ETFs? What are ETFs?
You know what? I don't even know, to tell you the truth.
Those are ETFs.
Anyway, these exchange trading. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I have to look that up. I'll look that up in a second.
I thought you was listening to crypto out here, Jared. I'm sorry. I'm just fucking with you.
I'm really not. I'm more about how crypto is messaged. That's really what my focus is. So when I read stuff like this, the large crypto exchange Binance, which is the largest in the world, actually also suspended Bitcoin withdrawals for 3 hours yesterday, blaming it on stuck transactions. So again, when people who support crypto will say, hey, we're getting away from the banks and no government can stop us and no centralized authority can stop us. Well, here it is. The biggest one in the world said, at least for 3 hours, you can't take your money out because they saw it collapsing. And then just as we were talking about the other day, Kim, here we have more with Block Inc., formerly known as Square. The company co-founded by former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey owns $220 million of Bitcoin as a corporate asset. It also received 44% of its total net revenues from Bitcoin trades on its app in this year's first quarter, according to its most recent 10Q filing with the SEC. In doing research yesterday on the company, we were stunned to learn that it was also allowed to buy a federally insured bank in March of 2021. Block lost 12.68% of its market value yesterday and is down 61% year to date. Then here,
that's a lot.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. I'll speed through. I'll just summarize this here. Yeah. What this is saying here is that because Block owns Cash App, what they've written here in one of their own internal statements that the Martins have shared with us here is that Dorsey et al. Are worried about about Cash App and other of their assets losing value, including their reputation being hit and materially and adversely affecting their business as a result of people signing up through Cash App, which they admit here they only offer people as a platform to get you to crypto. So all the other stuff that we may use Cash App for is irrelevant to Block and Jack Dorsey. It was just a gateway to crypto, and they're saying because of that, their Cash App people, customers, are losing money and will likely hate Cash App and Block as an extension. So this is just some of what I think is fascinating about this, and then just very much just quickly, lastly, this bank here is more or less tied up in what crashed the economy in 2008 is essentially here. People taking loans to buy Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin crashes, they can't pay back the loans. And we're talking about banks here, like Silvergate Bank. So that's what. No,
anyway. I was going to say, do you really think it's folks will care? I don't think Cash App would be affected. And I'm only saying that because our people are sheep. And unfortunately, most of our people don't pay attention to shit anyway. It's like a loss is a loss. And it's like, oh, well, this is still an easy way to transfer money or whatever. I mean, what's your thoughts?
I don't know. I mean, from their perspective, and I didn't realize this, from their apparently from their perspective, a lot of their customers only joined Cash App because of its easy access to buying and trading in crypto. Okay. And in fact, yesterday, somebody tried to fish me on IG saying, I'm trying to give you $500. And at first, I thought they were trying to donate to BPM. Yeah. So they said, what's your Cash App? I said, here's my Cash App. And then they were like, I'm going to text you this and then click the link and then send it back to me. And I was like, hell.
And I'm glad you said that.
And it was a crypto trader. It was
that right there.
That's what I think they were trying to do. Get you on Cash App with a promise of some money. Then once you download the app, I don't know what's going to happen with this.
No.
From Block's perspective, you're on your platform. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
They was trying to get your money. And folks beware that I have a relative who banks with Wells Fargo. And a link was sent to them saying that someone was trying to compromise their account, whatever, so on and so forth. Click the link to stop it or whatever. Then they asked for, I don't know if it was the phone number or something, but whatever the case was, it ended up being a scam and they got ripped off for some money. So make sure that if you get any texts or emails or any of this type stuff in regards to your bank saying that, you know, there was a problem with your bank or whatever, contact your bank immediately. Don't click anything. Now, to some people, they might be like, well, that's obvious. Nothing's obvious with anyone because of the fact that when you're talking about your money, you know what I mean? Folks will move. They know you'll move quicker because your mindset, like, hold on, motherfucker trying to rob me. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, so be careful with that.
And even when they're trying to give you, or they're claiming they're trying to give you money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
absolutely.
know,
Anybody giving you shit around here.
So we use Cash App, you know, as a method for people to support the program, support the show, whatever. And I've always seen on the app, you know, oh, you can buy Bitcoin here, Skip. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not stuff that I'm interested in personally, just because I don't understand it. It seems like funny money. It doesn't seem like a safe place to put my little tiny pennies, right? like I can't lose my pennies. I need my pennies. My pennies is what keeps the lights on. So it's crazy, Jared, because, you know, circling back to what you're saying about Jack's investment in Block and in Square. And then I just keep going back to the tweet that we looked at here just a couple of days ago, where everybody in the Mossy Projects is going to get a free computer and get all this access to all this cryptocurrency education. And Jack and Jay-Z are going to make sure the hood is good out there in the Mossy houses. So I see this and I'm like, wow, Jay-Z, you looking even funnier in the light now, my guy.
And that's this. Sorry, Jackie, go ahead. Yeah.
No, you go ahead, Jared.
I was just going to say, it sounds like what an extension of, again, what we were talking about with the whole Jay-Z thing. Like, this is, they see this collapsing. So who do they go get? Let's go to the community we have a history of abuse with and get them, like, if to save us. And we need to extract as much data we can sell, get as many of the pennies we can get, because this thing is falling down. And on the way out, we need to, you know, and then just very quickly, ETFs are exchange traded funds. So it's seen which is a type of investment fund, an exchange traded product. So it sounds like it's another version of a hedge fund or a private equity pool, something like that. And they're losing money because they, you know, at least right now, because they've invested in something that doesn't do anything. It doesn't make anything. It has no service. You can't use it as currency. So
who was it in Central America that made Bitcoin their official state currency? Was it El Salvador?
El Salvador, not official state currency, but they've adopted it. And shout out to Doom and Gloom, Seb Solomon and Ali, I believe, is her colleague there. Who just did an interview with me. I've actually been diving into their content recently. They got a lot of, I mean, it's a lot of dope stuff. But Sebs has been showing a lot of that it's we just got into her whole recent article about Central African Republic, who adopted it, a la El Salvador. They're trying to push it in Panama. They're trying to push, you know, all these places, again, where there's these histories of abuse. They can just plug in the latest, almost literally plug in. Oh, wow. Yeah, made legal by the SEC, ETFs, exchange traded funds. So,
but not actually plug in, because I saw a story about how Bitcoin is doing in El Salvador. And obviously most people in El Salvador are not using fucking Bitcoin, right? Because they literally don't have the technology to do it. And currency, paper currency, is what buys actual bread and actual eggs and actual.
And Seb showed that in Central African Republic, there's only 7% of the people have the internet, much less all this. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I mean, but that's capitalism. It reminds me of a few years ago. I remember Taco Bell moved into Mexico and they had to shut down like after a month of setting up. I'm like, you motherfuckers so arrogant. You, I mean,
you thought you were gonna sell some knockoff Mexican American food,
right? But you know why though? You know why? Because what they did is they did with a lot of these criminal Arabs that come into the community selling fried chicken, and the Chinese. Black people make the best fried chicken on the planet. and your black ass too lazy to go make some. So you go to these motherfuckers to get your fried chicken. So they tried that shit in Mexico. Mexico's like, yo, the fuck is you on? Like, this is supposed to be a taco?
It's like PF Chang's all over China and all that. Like, is
Right.
Hold on.
Crazy,
Can I give an honorable mention to the Koreans? Koreans know how to legitimately fry chicken now.
Korean fried chicken. I'm sorry,
Make that distinction because Koreans can fry some chicken. I don't know what y'all
I
talking
don't
about.
know.
wow, Kim.
No, it's true. They have this obsession with fried
Zach
chicken.
said no, it's true.
I gotta give them. I did not believe it, but the other day, Sean Blackman said, "No, you got to try Korean fried chicken." I'm like, "Come on, bro." He's like, "No, I'm serious."
Yeah,
And I
boy,
went, and I was like, "Wait a minute, wait, what y'all doing?"
And let me shout out a contingent of whites who are good at frying chicken. The Amish on the low are exceptional at frying chicken.
The Amish are like, we use real butter and seasoning because we
to
don't
the people
have
that's listening, this is why I don't eat meat.
Life somehow.
This is part of the reason why I don't eat meat, ladies and gentlemen.
The Amish, shout out to what's up, Lancaster County. Yeah,
fried chicken roll call.
Look, don't sleep on the Korean.
Man, listen.
I am a convert.
I'm rocking with you, man. I'm with you on this point, though. You was trying to be like, look, man, the Mexicans were going for it, and everybody, and are they down there talking? They
so right on out with me, with them, right? No dead bird for Kalanji. So anyway,
down there talking about the Americans can make some tacos. No, they
right?
No.
Like, hold on, don't sleep.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. Y'all can eat y'all dead bird. It's cool.
And we will.
Right?
We
sure
will. I sure will.
Man, that is too funny, man.
Anyway, something bad wrong with all y'all, man.
Yes, I never claimed to be normal.
Some nationalism points this morning.
Yeah,
great nationalist is the scoreboard is just deducted.
Quick, they didn't care. They like, what the Koreans? They make some good fried chicken.
They do. Look,
don't argue with facts. Don't argue with facts.
Oh my God!
I don't argue with a good double fried crispy chicken with some tangy sauce. Look.
Oh my goodness!
Hold on, circling back to our story here, Gerard. So if anybody has got their little $25 or $500 or $2,000 in crypto. I know this is not a platform that dispenses professional financial advice, just for that disclaimer, but what would you possibly suggest? Like, if you got anything tied up in this crypto shit, like,
if you can ride it out, I would suggest getting out. I would have suggested but I'm like that with the entire stock market. Like, that's been my whole point. Like, I'm like, this whole thing, get out, you know what I mean? But, especially with this stuff, I mean, at least, I don't want to give capitalism any room, but if people are actually providing a product or a service that does something in the world, I mean, that is at least a half step up from this kind of mythology that's getting pumped around here. So if people, and really what I was really going to say is that if anybody has any money left at this point, or who can survive, because the only people who can survive these drops are people who have a lot of money. And
you must get prepared.
Are buying their Satoshis like Hill Harper is saying, they're probably wiped out.
Man, listen, you're talking about, I mean, clearly we should know from history that a recession is down the road. You know what I'm saying? A quote unquote man-made recession. All the ingredients are being mixed right now, from housing to gas, the whole nine. So, the price of medicine, all that type of stuff. So it's going to be a hit. Many folks who are homeowners are going to be forced to sell because you're not going to be able to afford this shit. And they're still telling you to invest in crypto. It's about to be a problem. It's about to be crypto night, and it's going to knock your ass out the sky. You know what I'm saying? Real soon. If you don't know.
The last thing I just want to say on all of this real quick is that, again, Michael Burry, the dude that predicted the 2008 joint, that's the feature in the Big Short film, has been saying we're on a bigger bubble right now, or it's a big, so for whatever that's worth, it's like we all, just to bring it back where BPM is, this is why we really do need to be pushing organization and building our networks and community and whatever that might mean, because we are going to need each other more than ever. Once again, very soon, very soon.
Yeah. And shout out to the survivalists out there. Make sure get up on this urban survival preparedness. Matter of fact, Balagoon has a great manual, the USPI Urban Survival Preparedness manual. So, you know, I believe you're going to need it because folks are so caught up on the whole banking system and crypto and all of this good stuff. And when the power goes out, when shit goes down, it's going to be a problem. You can't eat those, you know what I mean? You can't eat no electronic coins. You know what I'm
buying
saying?
my second bucket of survival rations
Yes.
this week. Look,
And
Mr.
we,
Lupon was serious about what if anything happens, we need to be able to hold up in this house until we can get the hell out of the city.
and we offer go bags as well. USPI Urban Survival Preparedness Institute will be back on that starting in July, where you can have we have three levels of bags that you can order. I co-chair the Urban Survival Preparedness Institute with Balagoon, and you know, it's a way for you to know, you know, I mean, it's about being prepared, having a bag in your car, having a bag in your home, and you know, in case shit go down, you can be anywhere. So, you know, hate to sound like the gloomster, you know,
No,
saying
it's
shout out
real.
to doom and gloom, but
It's
that's
real.
the reality of it.
Absolutely real.
Shout out to doom and gloom. Yeah.
And,
Anyway,
you know, Kalani, you
So
said something. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jackie. Go.
No, sorry. So I wanted to get to this story that shout out to Ricky Ryan who just sent me this story. And if you have been in the military, Jared, you know about challenge coins. And if you've worked as a contractor, you know how the military does these little challenge coins that they're like little gifts that they award people for various things, right? And they usually have an emblem of the agency on there, with a little cute little phrase or whatever. They really aren't worth much. It's just like a morale booster kind of thing. Well, Customs and Border Patrol has their own special challenge coin that they had minted. They had a bunch of challenge coins minted that they were giving out to Border Patrol agents, and Border Patrol is investigating the challenge coin that was created memorializing the treatment of Haitian immigrants, migrants
no,
at
they
the Del
didn't.
Rio River. Yeah, they did.
Wow.
Yes, this is the infamous image. And this is an unofficial challenge coin. So according to them, the Customs and Border Patrol didn't have these coins made. Some racist cracker in the Border Patrol had these made.
Is there a picture of the coin or?
Yes, there's a picture of the
that's
coin.
even like saying the Klan didn't
time.
make it. Some racist ass in the Klan made it.
You know, it's crazy.
That's the coin. You see? Can you see it?
You know, my daughter lives in Del Rio. You know what I'm saying? And that's she moved there a couple years ago, and I mean, this shit is like disgusting on so many levels because I have to go through that.
And it gets worse. The quote on the coin says, "You will be returned," on one side, and on the other side it says, "Reining it in since May 28th, 1924, and yesterday's border is not today's border."
Ew.
Yeah, man. So they don't know how many of the coins have been distributed. The eBay listing where the coins were being sold has been taken down. CPB is like, oh, they're investigating who did it. Oh, this is terrible. Oh, it's inappropriate. We'll send a cease and desist letter to any vendor who produces unauthorized challenge coins, blah, blah, blah. But like you said, Jared, this is literally like, the Klan saying a member of our organization created some material that we didn't approve, but
But I mean, but keep it gangster. I appreciate the directness of this coin because of the fact that when we look at the dollars and the coins here that we utilize daily, we have all these fucking slave masters on them already. You know what I mean?
Hold on,
didn't
we get the Harriet Tubman 20 coming?
Oh yeah, they traded it in for the Haitian 25. You know what I'm saying? The coin and shit.
Yeah, that's wild.
Boy. These bastards
it's just these people. This is just another. This is what fascism in 2022 looks like. We always think of fascism, and I keep having this ongoing conversation about fascism, that the U.S. is a fascist state. This is what fascism looks like when a law enforcement agency celebrates. First of all, when a law enforcement agency exists and is allowed to violate the so-called constitutional rights of people in the country, because the SCOTUS just said that they could within 100 miles of every border, right? And now the people, they reenact slave patrols, because that's what that was. That was them, having their slave patrol, slave catcher cosplay at the Del Rio River, and then they memorialize it in a coin. This is no different from the Nazis awarding each other a wolf's angel for rounding up and killing a bunch of gypsies, Jews, Roma people, that whatever. It's fascism. And until we understand that we're not talking about, it's just, law enforcement is the problem. No, the entire system in this country is the problem. America is a fascist police state. And this is an example.
To the tutor.
All day.
Yeah. But yes. I appreciate you said Ricky sent you the okay, shout
out Ricky Ryan.
Yes. No, that's great. And yes, we encourage you all too. Yes, send us articles, send us, news and everything, because we're not gonna always have everything on deck. But we have an email, you know what I mean? Make sure that you hit us off, mediablackpower@gmail.com. And if you have stories, I don't just send us a whole bunch of BS, because some of y'all be tripping. I go through some of these emails. What y'all talking about? Like, some of y'all be bugging. I ain't even gonna say some of the emails that we get. I mean, I don't know what the hell y'all be smoking and just send it out there.
We might have to do that, like blur out
the letters.
Just read some of
yeah.
Oh boy.
Matter of fact, you know what? We have
reading day too.
We have for our members and Patreon. I think we should definitely do a ask a host type joint. You know what I'm saying?
I think that should be a members only or a Patreon thing where basically we kind of interview each other. You know what I'm saying, and get some biographical details that have not quite been shared with the folks.
No doubt. So,
I don't know. I don't have any left, so I'll do.
Yeah, you went all the way open. Jared's like,
I've shared everything. I
think I spilled all my tea on myself already.
Yeah, Jared went all the way in. He's like, I used to sell my butt for crack. No, I'm just joking. But
hold up.
Crack for crack. I'm joking, man.
That part.
Too far.
Hold up.
Too far.
It did not happen. Let's just be clear. Somebody gonna clip that shit. Somebody put that and throw that shit around there and be like, I told you. This goes my next rainbow meme. Thanks, Carnage. Appreciate it.
Hey, call it crack for crack. It's for you. No. I had to get you back for that joint you made of me that time, that picture. That was dead wrong.
Look, hey, I hate you, man. I hate you. Look,
but go ahead.
I got a lot of you went too far, but but my thing is, let me just leave it alone. Let's just move on. But I like that idea. I think that we should do that. That. I hear Dr. yelling in the private chat
in the background saying, "What up?"
5 minutes. Don't say it, Jared. Stop. Between him and my wife, I could just the vibe coming through the walls. Stop. Like,
we already know.
Anyway,
okay.
What you all think? You got something you want to get to real quick before in the next couple of minutes before
anybody got the abortion story?
Got the wish now?
Florida abortion.
Yep.
Is that on the run sheet? Oh,
yes, it's on the run sheet, and
I see it.
Got it.
Oh yeah. See, you messing with my mother's people now. Don't mess with the Jews, boy. Here come the Jews gonna save. Jews gonna protect abortion rights.
Are the
Here they
Jews
come,
going to
boy.
save abortion rights in America?
Looks like. Looks
Okay.
like. It looks like they are.
Getting rough
Let
out
me
here.
stop playing. So, a South Florida synagogue has sued the state of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis, over their 15-week abortion ban. Why come, you might ask? The lawsuit filed Friday in Leon County Circuit Court by Congregation Lador Vador seeks to block the law from taking effect July 1. Abortion clinics also filed suit, but both cases allege that the law violates a privacy right in the Florida Constitution that has long played a pivotal role in abortion cases in the state. Well, why are Jews involved in this in particular? Because for Jews, and this is what the lawsuit filed by the synagogue says, for Jews, all life is precious, and thus the decision to bring new life into the world is not taken lightly or determined by state fiat. In Jewish law, abortion is required if necessary to protect the health, mental, or physical well-being of the woman, or for many other reasons not permitted under the act, the new law. As such, the act prohibits Jewish women from practicing their faith free of government intrusion, and thus violates their privacy rights and religious freedom. So I think this is, I was wondering when Jewish people were going to weigh in on this religious freedom argument when it comes to abortion, because I've known all along that under Judaism, abortion is not only not frowned upon, but it is a right of the woman, and it is, as they said in their own law, it is a required if the woman is, even if she feels like she is not prepared or ready to have children at this point, then under Jewish law she is allowed to make that decision, and no one can stop her, not her husband, not the synagogue, not the rabbi, not the state. So this argument, and this is especially important for me as someone who is a person of faith, who is rooted in the Christian faith, but the radical Christian faith. I always got to say that. When folks are always talking about, oh, religious freedom, the Bible says life begins at conception. The Bible says nothing about when life begins, really. I mean, actually, it says that life begins when the first breath is taken. That's what it actually says. But these very folks, these very so-called Christians, mostly white Christian fascists, who want to use what is not in the Bible to tell women what they can and cannot do with their body, talking about the Bible says life begins at conception, and it's our religious freedom to deny everyone else the right to have an abortion. The Jews have finally stepped in and said, nah, that's not what the law says. And remember, the first 5 books of the Bible are the Torah. Same books. So Jews for the save. I'm with it. I'm for it. I'm glad they showed up to the argument.
This is my popcorn moment. I'm loving this. That's sit back and I want to see this fight.
This is one of the fights that Kim talked about yesterday and shit. When you love to see certain motherfuckers fight, you know what I'm saying? This is a good fight for. I want to see what the response is going to be. You know what I mean? How they're going to wiggle their way out of that, because they're not going to be able to, because there's too much control and quote unquote power coming from that particular community. So I'm interested in seeing how this thing plays out.
But it's also, if I heard you right, Jackie, and something that I think is interesting, would be interesting to see is how loud does the Jewish community get about this particular point? A lot of Jews in this country, in the United States, are conservative and may start weighing, how religious do I want to be right now? I might, you know what I mean? Like, so I that's what I'm saying. I want to see this. But anyway, speaking of what I know we want to see, we can come back to this certainly in the next hour. But we got Ear Doctor in the barbershop getting that fade tightened up. It looks like.
Oh, and I want to point out too, before you pop off, Ear Doctor, stay tuned for the folks who dip off. We have guests at 9:25. We will have Sisse Siddiqui, Kamal Siddiqui's daughter. We'll have our sister Yane Indigo, and we will have our brother Raphael talking about political prisoners. So that would be at the 9:25 mark. So I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, proceed, brother.
Oh, no problem. I'm down here at the barbershop getting my hustle on, trying to sell some books. I got a narrative of Frederick Douglass.
Okay.
I got Ryman Dictionary. I got Chancellor Williams, The Rebirth of African Civilization. A History of Ancient Egypt. And Can You Win? How to Play Poker. So
wait. Wait a minute.
I'm out here getting it, man. Listen.
Yo, Dr. Boy. Well, listen. The one thing that Erica said the other day, Erica said, Doc always come with such great stuff. And then all of a sudden, we're confused.
Hey, man.
Shout out to Erica. Sorry about the poor voice. But
it's all types of education. So
Doc, you hell, boy.
Let's get to this break right here, right now, the Remix Morning Show, y'all. All right.
Remix
Black
Morning
Power
Show.
Media. It's the Ear Doctor.
Man, what's good, everybody? People still in here getting the Philly fade? Come on, man. Philly fade went out, and y'all bringing it back? Box fades, everything. Anyway, we right here at the barbershop. We talking about top. We talking about top. Since we talk about Philly, we're going to talk about my top Philly lyricists. And who are we going to talk about today? Okay, let's start it off like this. One of my first top Philly lyricists is no other than Cassidy. That's right. Cassidy in a battle with this dude, when we talking about metaphors, we talking about wordplay, we talk about double entendres and all that stuff. This dude right here, I would not want to get in a battle with him. The way he does his stuff when it comes to the lyrical side, he's a beast. Next, I'm going to go down to a newer rapper. He goes by the name of Meek Mill. That's right. Meek Mill is very talented lyricist. I must say, he can go for different ranges, talk about different things. And whenever I play that Nightmares and Dreams in the club, everybody goes crazy. I got to give it up for Meek Mill. Next, I want to go to my man, Beans. That's right, Beanie Siegel. Beanie Siegel is that dude right there. When you talk about really feeling like the emotions he put forth in his albums, yeah, Beans is that lyrical dude that he's like the Broad Street Bully. That's what it is. Next, I want to go to Tierra Whack. That's right, a new sister on the scene that can rip it and can go from different flows and different styles and can sing. So she does it all. Next, I want to go to the best lyricist out of Philly, no other than Black Thought. That's right. Black Thought is that guy. He is the God MC, in case y'all didn't know. Lyrical. And I also want to give it up to my old school top 5, which would be Schoolie D from Philly, Will Smith, Bahamadia, Steady B, and I'm going to put it for radio personality, Lady B on Power 99. That's hip hop all day, baby. And she used to rhyme. So that's my top 5 lyricists coming straight out of Philly. Now, let's take it back to the Remix Morning Show. Yep.
Here, doctor.
Yeah.
You didn't say EVE. Let's talk about who I am. Blondie Fonnie in the hood with my people. Love y'all. Hate the rest of y'all that I can see. You all putting Eve on the list of top Philly MCs?
I said lyricists.
All right, yeah, doctor.
Stay out of this one.
All right.
Did I not say lyricists? And did I not say my? Now, your list, Kim, I'm sure will probably be different of lyricists, but who do you disagree with on that list of lyricists?
I'm gonna be contrarian. I disagree with everybody. Everybody, the whole list, throw it away. throw it all away.
Jared,
How can you not mention Freeway though? Come on, we still hustle till the sun come up.
Hey.
40 when the sun go down. It's a cold winter. Y'all niggas better bundle up. And it better be a hotter summer. Grab an onion just to rock it down. We hot now. Listen up. Don't you know cops' sole purpose is to lock us down and throw away the key?
Yeah.
But without this drug shit, your kids ain't got no way to eat, huh?
Hey, I get you.
That's impressive.
It was, and the fact that you put on Cassidy and not Freeway, I think that's a crime to lyricism.
Crime.
Lyrically, have you heard Cassidy?
Have you heard Freeway? Cassidy sounds like that's how he sounds.
No, but what I think is interesting is that
you also see that Freeway Cassidy battle.
No, we didn't.
Okay, move on.
When was this?
That's
when was
the point
this?
I was going to make, though. That go ahead, finish that. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jared.
No, all I was going to say when I watch the battle rap community discuss these things, they draw a distinction between what they do and commercial rappers do. So they often, and in fact, Math Hoffa and Cassidy had this very discussion probably last year, I think, or sometime within the last year, whatever, talking about how they don't judge each other, against each other, because they're doing and they're always talking about when commercial MCs and rappers come into this world, they get dealt with. Yeah. And sometimes when we try to go into their world, we can't do it. It's a different skill. So I would have traditionally never thought of it that way, but I thought to bring that into that they draw that distinction. The only thing I wanted to ask about is what happened to Cassidy, because the last I did hear when he was talking with Math Hoffa was that they were talking about developing independent battle rap leagues and doing all this other stuff, and he was talking a lot that sounded very interesting. But I haven't heard much since. So anyway,
Remy Ma is doing the battle rap league with the sisters and the brothers, and gonna have them battling. So that is one person. Remy Ma is gonna be doing that.
But to your point, though, Jared, when you said about the distinctions drawn, that's like with fighting. What was my man name that was the big street fighter that ended up transitioning?
Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo Slice. He was that dude on the street, but then when he got in the ring, it was a different program. So the thing is, it's like understanding your lane is important as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, but shout out to all of the great MCs and the folks that's been holding it down. There was this one Cassidy joint that I did like. I think when they did the 8 billion remixes of Millie. I think one of his versions or whatnot I like, but otherwise.
Yeah, Cassidy wouldn't have made it if I said top rappers. But when I say lyricists, it's a little different. I look at lyricism a little different than some people.
Shout out to Miss Jade.
For the day.
Shout out to Miss Jade.
So are we being sponsored by Def Jam? I see that Def Jam shirt going on. What's going on? And Adidas.
When I DJ some places, they give me free shirts. So
okay. All right. I'm just checking. I mean,
sponsored by Free Mumia.
Okay.
Hey.
Free Mumia.
Yeah.
All right, I catch our next break. Peace.
All right, thank you. Right on.
Yeah.
Hey, so listen, I know we got guests coming up, but Kim and Jackie, did you want to come back? I think I cut you off for that last segue to the ear doctor. Did you want to come back to the Jews?
Well, I mean,
the chosen ones to save us from abortion,
right?
Protect abortion.
I guess I just wanted to ask y'all. I mean, how do y'all see Zionism playing a role in this issue, specifically about abortion versus the Christian fascists? You know what I'm saying? Because the Christian fascists always want to stand with Israel. Well, you gonna stand with Israelite women on this, or what? You know what I mean?
Well, this is the thing you have to understand about Christian fascists. They're anti-Semites, really. They hate you. They Jews. They like,
because their thing is when Jesus comes back, he's gonna wipe them all out, right?
Exactly.
So
see, that's the part. That's the part.
Jesus is gonna be murdering a lot of people when he comes back. Right?
Yeah, that's the part of this whole Christians embracing Israel that they don't tell. And it's not like Jews don't know, and it's a really ridiculous
the gamble. The Jews are like, we bet he's not coming back.
Yeah, because the Jews are like, we don't even believe that Jesus is real. He's not. No. And the Christian fascists are like, the Christian fascists are like, well, when he comes back, most of y'all are going to die anyway, and 244,000 are going to convert to Christianity, and then only those are going to be saved. So it's this ridiculous, white supremacist, parasitic relationship that they have with each other. So, there is I have no doubt that folks like DeSantis and the Christian fascists are going to tap into their well of anti-Semitism to respond to the legitimate claim for religious freedom that the Jews have sued on. But then in that way they expose their own hypocrisy. So it's like the Christian fascists lose, however they respond to this, unless they just sit back and just lose the lawsuit and the law gets overturned. Because otherwise the Christians are going to have to be out in public talking about, that doesn't apply, and then people are going to be like, but wait a minute, don't Jews have religious freedom? Why are you denying Jews religious freedom? Are Christians the only ones who get religious freedom? So that's an argument they're going to step into that argument wholeheartedly. And I'm with you, Jared. I'm going to be sitting there laughing my behind off, watching them step in all the shit they have laid down, and it's going to be fantastic. I don't think the abortion ban is going to be upheld, though. That at the end of the day,
up the big screen out back with the speakers, get the lazy boy, you know what I'm saying? Pop the big bag for this joint, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting real comfortable.
Listen, man.
Watching some court arguments in Florida.
But I think Jared's right. I also wonder to what extent people of the Jewish faith are willing to get involved in this argument. I think it depends on the outcome of this case. I really do. I think it's like most people in this country, they're going to see how these folks, this synagogue, makes out in this case. And then if they win, then I think there's going to be more of a groundswell of many more Jews saying, well, you know what? In other states, well, you know what? We don't like your abortion law either because it infringes upon our religious freedom. But I think until that first group of folks wins, I think a lot of people are, because look, people are still afraid, very afraid, and legitimately so, of anti-Semitic violence and hatred. So
also we have to remember that there are so many different sects as well. Sects of so we can't just make a blanket statement like, it's just the Jewish community. It's like saying the Christian community, and it's only this little church over in Harlem that no one goes to. You know what I mean? So I guess it would depend on the power and who likes these people, because it's so many different contradictions. The contradictions have contradictions. You know what I mean? So it gets to a point where we don't like them anyway. So how far are they going to go? Like you said, based on will they unite on this particular issue, or will they say, well, that's them over there, so we ain't rocking with them because we don't like them anyway. You know what I mean? So they're going to find a way to weasel their way out of it, I'm sure, because the state is the state.
Yeah.
There we go.
Anyway.
All right, good people. What's on the docket next? Who got something they want to get to next? Anybody? We got.
We're looking at.
Here, I'll pull one up here. We got. Didn't we? No, I can't remember. I feel like somebody mentioned housing at some point. We have this story here. Rents across the U.S. rise above $2,000 a month for the first time ever. That sounds Kim Droder, let's see, let me get to a new report from Redfin shows that nationally listed rents for available apartments rose 15% from a year ago, and the median listed rent for an available apartment rose above $2,000 a month for the first time. Rents are up more than 30% in Austin, Seattle, and Cincinnati. In Los Angeles, the median asking rent is $3,400. Even formerly affordable cities such as Nashville, it's now $2,140, up 32% from last year. Housing is getting less affordable for everyone at every level, says Daryl Fairweather, the chief economist for Redfin. She says after the last housing crash, we didn't build enough homes for a decade, and that lack of supply is the biggest force pushing up home prices and making it harder for people like Jordan. That doesn't sound right.
Let's read it again.
Hold on a second.
Say it again.
That doesn't sound like. I feel like we've lost our okay. She says, that is the chief economist for Redfin. After the last housing crash, we didn't build enough homes for a decade.
What?
And that lack of supply is the biggest force pushing up home prices and making it harder for people like Drotar, the example person listed above, described above, to afford to buy a home.
No,
that doesn't sound right. I feel like we've lost.
They definitely don't live in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? They definitely don't live in Atlanta.
They don't live in Maryland either. They building houses all over the place in Laurel.
They building houses inside of houses in here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I thought the issue was that BlackRock and all these other folks are buying up all the properties.
That is the issue. That is exactly
monopolizing the property, whatever.
Wow. Listen, I can't. So we did not exploit enough natural resources to build more housing. Like, oh no, we didn't tear down enough trees. We didn't pollute enough water to build enough houses, more houses. When BlackRock and Jared Kushner and all these conglomerate assholes are now private landlords. You know what I'm saying? On a massive, massive scale. There should be something done about that. I don't think they should be allowed to do that.
She's really saying that, like, I'm sorry, the next graph, she's saying that Fairweather says home builders built fewer homes in the decade starting in 2010 than in any 10-year period since the 1960s. Quote, so I think it's going to take at least another decade to dig ourselves out of this hole. End quote. She says states changing zoning laws to allow for smaller, more affordable homes built closer together would help. Meanwhile, more people stuck renting when they would rather own a home helps keep demand and prices up in the rental market. So she's saying that there aren't enough homes for people who want to buy them, so they're stuck renting and forced to pay more because people see that they're willing, that they have an ability to corner that. That doesn't.
Where's
that
she out of? Where is she? Like in?
The problem is she's the chief
Portugal?
economist for Redfin, which is a mortgage lender. So it's like there you go. So she's got a skewed perspective, and of course that's the economist that NPR is using to as an analyst here, but. But I just feel like that can't be. Yeah, and then the story ends. So it's not. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
That's wild because you guys talk about forestry. According to the National Forest Service, Atlanta is the most heavily forested urban area in the country, and it's crazy because they're constantly cutting down trees for all types of shit. Of course, we know about Cop City. You know what I mean, where they're fucking up the forestry there. But I mean, here literally, I've never been to an urban city where I would see a urban area where I would see so many deer and wildlife, you know, just on the side of the road mashed up because they're literally cutting through their homes. You know what I mean? You can look outside at any given moment and see 10, 11 deer, you know, running around, you know, just like, I mean, you know, because the animals are confused. They're like, damn, I mean, shit, my ancestors lived here for so long. Now all of a sudden it's like, it's wild. So there's so many cars. I mean, if you're in the car business here in Atlanta, in Georgia in particular, I mean, from the deer running into deer, the deer running into your shit, or the nails, there's so many nails. If you own a tire shop in Atlanta, you're going to come up because they leave the nails all over the place from building these homes. And
Kalonji, check this out. I just heard this yesterday. I didn't know this, but Atlanta is in the running to be one of the host cities for the 2026 World Cup. So I'm assuming if Atlanta gets that,
crazy.
That's more construction, more destruction, more gentrification, more all that kind of stuff. By the way, Baltimore, DC is in the running. Houston, Nashville, Cincinnati.
Atlanta's going to get it.
I think Houston should get it. because I think Houston's prepared for it. Whatever little dumb package they're trying to put together for DC and Baltimore, that's just not going to work because they want to play the games in Baltimore at M&T Bank Stadium, but they want to have the events in DC, and it's like, who in the hell is driving an hour from the event on the mall in DC to go try to catch the onset of this match in Baltimore? That's a bad plan.
Right. And that's exactly right. They want to play real quick and then leave Baltimore immediately and go to DC right. in Northern Virginia area. Yeah, no doubt.
But the housing situation is crazy. I mean, I can only imagine what it's looking like in places like the Bay Area, in Chicago, New York. I've seen some New Yorkers in the chat talking about how many empty units there are in Manhattan, and yet the rents are astronomical. Here in Maryland, especially where I live in PG County, I'm waiting for that housing bubble to burst, baby, because all indications point to that. The prices in my area, considering where they were when I bought my home about 10 years ago, I would not be able to afford. I wouldn't even be able to pretend to be able to afford my neighborhood right now. And it's a lot of white folks. PG County is getting gentrified. Make no mistake about it. The whites are coming back to their homeland. They're coming to reclaim it. Okay. Because people don't like memories don't go back as far. Y'all don't remember when Landover was white. Nah, Landover used to be white, my G's. Landover used to be Caucasian. The white people said, no, we coming back. Coming back for our homeland.
Hey, but remember when Landover used to be native?
No, I don't.
The memories don't go that far back.
Shout out to the
white folks.
Shout out to
we talk about white memory here.
I forgot. White memory different from white memory different from everyone else's.
That's right.
White memory, a motherfucker, ain't it?
I mean, the housing situation is crazy. I mean, just think about $2,000 a month. I mean, you're trying to come up literally with two stacks a month. Every month for rent. Do you know?
That's crazy.
I would be out here robbing people. Somebody's getting stuck up. It might be the banks. It might be the bank getting stuck up. Somebody got to empty out their pockets. It might be Wells Fargo, but that is too much pressure to be putting on people every single month. And that's just for housing. That doesn't include your food. That doesn't include your gas. It doesn't include utilities. It's untenable. It is financially and economically untenable for average folks out here, let alone what poor people must be experiencing.
Right. But it's all game. It's all a part of capitalism, and they know that folks are going to they're gonna go for whatever is gonna get them the dollars. So of course, quote unquote, crime is gonna go up, and that's gonna help the criminal justice system, the injustice system. It's gonna help to railroad more people because folks are hungry and they're gonna want to eat. You know what I mean? So, but this has been going on. It's funny because in a lot of these cities, New York and Bridgeport and so many other places, this has been the the prices have already been 2,000 plus, and you don't get anything for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at least some of these areas you can have somewhere comfortable, but I mean, these motherfuckers, they don't care. They'll put you in a box literally
for $2,000.
It sure will.
Gotta go.
Listen, let me make a shameless plug to everybody. We did the interview the other day with Sherry Honkala from the Poor People's Army, and there's a T-shirt giveaway associated with that video based on a number of views, and we're not close. So go watch that video, catch up with what the Poor People's Army are doing, get yourself a free T-shirt, and support the work that they're really doing. Because I think I have to admit, one of my favorite activist endeavors is what they do, which is people who don't have a place to live get up in a spot that's empty. And it's like, what? And I love that. I absolutely love that. And so all this about rental prices going up, it might get to a point where people are like, to Kim's point, I can't come up with that every month, and yet I'm also not leaving. So now what? Right. I just signed up for the Poor People's Army. How about that? So you never know. Anyway, please go check out that video and support them. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
But what's really criminal is beyond that, the homeless the homeless population. But then you have all these empty homes where folks aren't living in them and shit, and they're boarded up, and abandoned, and waiting for the prices to go up, the property taxes to raise, and whatever the case is. But you have folks literally sleeping on the sidewalk, So these contradictions here in this so-called great democracy it's off the charts. It's off the charts. I don't know, man. But it's all moving us closer to revolution.
I mean, you talk about the boarded up houses. I'm thinking about the luxury apartments that are empty. You know what I'm saying? Like that remain empty for the whole year because the owner or whoever's the main renter only comes once a year, and then they go back to wherever they usually live. So 11 months out the year, this very nice furnished, all the lights and shit on, all that's just remaining empty and unused. So that's what makes me mad. Like the actual livable properties, not even the ones that could be turned into something livable. No, shit that people can live in right now be sitting there empty for a long, long, long time.
Well, wouldn't be me. I guess I'll be living in there them 11 months. Like, fuck that. It's either the street. I'm chilling for those. When y'all say he coming back, all right, cool. We gonna go on vacation for that month.
Right. Chill.
Anyway, these motherfuckers crazy. We're gonna go to a quick break. We do have guests coming on. Some guests that came through Atlanta the other day and they just showed their ass. Nah, but we're gonna talk about some political prisoners. We're gonna talk about what went on last weekend, and we're gonna be right back at you after the ear.
But first, it looks like we're getting a bootleg. It looks like Ear Doctor working on a new bootleg again.
Still working on them bootlegs.
Yeah, I'm in the movies. I was I'll be scrolling and looking and stuff. I was watching The Man That Fell from Earth last night. Man, that was a great flick. Me and Jared gonna talk about it next week. You gotta catch up and we're gonna get on that. That was a great flick. But right now I wanted to do a real quick segment and show you some more musicians that's doing their thing. So let's get with it.
Yeah. No doubt. Let's go.
Black Power Media.
All right. Let's get to it. Like I said, I'll be scrolling. That's what I'll be doing. So I'll be checking out stuff, and I seen this, and we was showing all week. We've been showing like violinists playing with bands, playing with over instrumentals. But I seen this sister right here, and I was like, man, on the drums. And I know, Jared, I know you appreciate this. This sister was very much in her pocket and she was in and out of the pocket. She killed it. So let's get to it right here and check this out. Bam. Man, that she was up there doing her thug thizzle, man. You see the control with the sticks and all that? That's what you call a MC. Not even having to get on the mic, just moving the crowd. That was beautiful, man. I just want to send y'all that for the weekend and hope y'all enjoy your weekend. But right now, we got a dope interview coming up, so stay tuned right here on Black Power Media on the Remix Morning Show. Let's get it.
Do we know her name, Ear Doctor?
That's what I was going to ask.
Wait a minute.
Stop playing. Let it go. Leave it alone.
Who is doing that?
Yeah, Dr. Wilder.
I don't know.
I'm on production here. What's going on? Why people pushing buttons?
That is you. Stop playing.
That's the remixes every morning. Why are people pushing buttons?
But definitely get a drummer some. That was dope, man.
Oh,
Who was
what was her name?
Very
Who
inspirational.
was she?
I had the slightest idea. Like I said, I was just scrolling. And I seen it, and I was like, man, I got to share this with the people right here. So that's what it is.
Thanks for the
Rocking out to
teaser, my man.
Carlos Santana. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Como over.
No doubt.
And speaking of girl drummers, can I shout out Nandy Bushell real quick? Nandy Bushell is about 12 years old. She's British, but her mama black. Shout out to Nandy. But Nandy has been she has drummed live for the Foo Fighters. She has everyone gives her instruments. Tom Morello, Lenny Kravitz. She has been. She's one of the baby them that is keeping musicianship alive, and she is a badass drummer. Nandi Bushell, know her name.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and get to this interview. I'll catch y'all next time. Have a great weekend. Peace.
No doubt. Anyway, as their doctor just alluded to, we have 3 wonderful guests joining us right about now. So y'all stay tuned and let's bring it. What's happening, party people?
Right on. Welcome, everybody.
Peace. Morning. Okay. Welcome to the Remix Morning Show. How y'all feeling this morning?
Feeling good. Feeling good after last weekend. Right on.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. Hey, y'all was 3 the hard way. I'm glad to see y'all on today on this wonderful Thursday. I tried to get them all on Tuesday. Like, look, we too big. We got major stuff we doing. So we might could fit you in on Thursday and whatnot. So they decided to join us today. So I appreciate that. For folks who are unaware, I would like, at least 2 of you have been on the platform before. I think it might be Raphael's first time. But if you all don't mind, introduce yourselves to our audience for folks who don't know what time it is. And we'll move from there, y'all. We'll start with Yane.
Sure. My name is Yane Indigo. I am in Lenape-Hoking territory, the portion known as Philadelphia, and I work on a lot of things. Very, very blessed to be able to work with Consiste and her family on the release of her dad, and to be able to partner with so many amazing organizers to really work to embody freedom in our lifetime.
No doubt.
Peace and good morning, everybody. My name is Consiste Siddiqui, filmmaker, performing artist, daughter of Kamal Siddiqui and Pamela Hanna, both legendary Black Panthers. And as you know, we're fighting to get my daddy out of prison. So I'm excited about that.
No doubt. Raphael.
Peace and power, everybody. Free the land. I'm reaching out from Seneca People territory in so-called Rochester, New York. An educator, professor by trade, youth advocate, and freedom fighter. So a big fan of the Remix Morning Show. Everybody, Kim Brown, I was feeling that flow this morning, so I want to give a shout out to that. So it's a real pleasure to be here. So thank you all.
Welcome.
Oh man, check out how smooth they are. You know what I'm saying? These all came in. Yeah, such. Anyway, definitely glad to see y'all on today. I want to say for folks who missed it, last weekend we had Freedom Weekend here in Atlanta, where these 3 comrades, along with folks like Sekou Odinga, Bilal Sunni Ali, Russell Maroon Schultz III, Terry Thompson, and so many others, came through to represent. Shout out to Shep and Valerie and everybody that came through to push to the masses the plight and campaigns of folks like Kamal Siddiqui, Dr. Mutulu Shakur, Imam Jamil Alameen, formerly H. Rap Brown, Mumia, and political prisoners in general. And we had a rally last Saturday. And I must say that these folks was off the chain. I think the last one to speak was Janae. And all of this time, I thought she was just such a quiet little angel. And she just was like, fuck you, motherfuckers. If you ain't gonna get up and fight for the revolution, the hell with you. We'll burn your ass. All that good shit. She sounded like
Somebody
Ryan
got to
Carter
be
2.0.
Pam.
Yes, yes. She definitely represented for Pam. Shout out to Pam. I want to ask you all, if you could, first of all, I want to start with Consiste. For folks who don't know who Kamal Siddiqui is, if you can just give us a little background on who your father is, and we'll take it from there.
Kamal Siddiqui is, as you know, my father. He joined the Black Panther Party at age 19, committed to the people. He was arrested in 71 to 79, got out of prison in 79, spent a beautiful life with his family, rearrested in 2003 for not agreeing to bring Assata back. Now, you know, we have a campaign for my father advocating for his life and his freedom, he and other political prisoners. And he also is in prison with wounds. He's got a lot of issues with his health. And of course, you know, in that Augusta State Prison, there, you know, he's being neglected. So that's in addition to why we want him home. And I love him. He's my father. You know, he's a family man. He worked for the phone company. He's always been about his people and the community. So that's my dad.
No doubt. Yane, what got you involved? You know, I mean, as far as this trip to Atlanta, what was the purpose? Let's talk about that.
Sure. So, you know, the campaign has a steering committee. I'm a member of the steering committee. We were interested in in supporting Consensei getting to Atlanta to see her dad. So that was a core priority for us, and for her to be having support when that happened. We also recognized the importance of building the campaign for Kamal in Atlanta, because even though he's from the BK, he is in Georgia, not far from Atlanta. So we wanted to go to Atlanta to make sure that people there know that he's there in their proximity so that they can build and advocate for him. Because, of course, we care about all of our U.S. held political prisoners. We care about all political prisoners, and particularly in the U.S., about our U.S. held political prisoners. And if we don't know where they are to support them, if we don't know they're nearby, then we can't do as much as we could. So we wanted to ensure that people who are interested in this fight actually know that one of our own is in their backyard, so that they could begin to pick up the mantle. And then finally, because again, we do care about all of our political prisoners, and we know that we are one movement. We wanted to bring the campaigns for Mutulu Shakur and Imam Jamil Alameen together so that we can be stronger. Of course, we're stronger together. And so those were the primary objectives and the motivations behind going to Atlanta and building this weekend. It was unfortunate that Consiste was not able to see her father, but we were very much invested in ensuring that Consiste felt all kinds of love all around, the love that's absolutely there and truly there, that is not always able to be felt so well through these Brady Bunch screens, as Shep calls them. And so we were really excited to be able to be in person with her, put our arms around her, and let her see the support that she and her family have all around the community, and dance together and break bread together. And that was also a really important part of the weekend. We're spending a lot of time organizing and owning each other, and we need the energy of each other close by. And so that also happened. And it was a really wonderful weekend that invigorated us all and keeps us moving forward, getting us closer to freeing them all.
No doubt. Raphael, thank you for that. Raphael, you in the building, and I mean, the experience. Talk about, if you can, what are some of the things that came up out of the meetings and so on and so forth? Are there any action plans that you all can share with our audience, and things that folks who are just learning about political prisoners and they're hearing about Kamal Siddiqui for the first time, or they're hearing about Imam Jamil or Matulu or Mumia? What are some of the things that came up out of these meetings that you think may be good or vital to our movement?
Yeah, thanks for that question, Kalanji. I think the first thing I want to highlight that came out, Yane just got at that, was that felt sense of community. And it all started with the first day, started with a libation, giving thanks to the ancestors, and just kind of reiterating what our purpose and goals were for being there. Day two, I believe there was just a high level of learning. There was a workshop, consisted of different speakers, and I think what really happened for me in that moment was getting a sense of how all the coalitions are connected. So whether it's Dr. Matulu's coalition to free him, Kamal, Free Mumia coalition, we're all connected. And it's sort of a time in this moment to start doing our best to learn from each other and support each other's movements going forward. And I think that final day, and this is, I think, important when we talk about what is community when we're building coalitions. As Yane mentioned, there was a real family environment that we were able to create. We lived together for all 3 days. We went out and danced together, Kasise and some of us. But then at the other moment, we were just able to support and build dialogue and just be there for each other. So one thing I just want to encourage all movements who are organizing together is to really try to find that moment in time where they can come together, be in that same space, and just kind of learn from each other. Because I think going forward, that's what's going to collectivize our efforts and make us stronger in freeing all of our political prisoners, including Kamal, Mumia, and Dr. Matulu.
Yes, definitely that sustainability. I'm gonna open up for questions from my co-host, but I want to shout out some of the other worker ants that were involved, that I witnessed put in work. Lakeem, even though Lakeem couldn't be there physically, you know what I'm saying? The energy and the work that he put in behind the scenes was awesome. Tunde was like that runner. You know what I'm saying? He was making sure things happen. Our sister Nina, who assisted in the keeping things moving at the rally itself, and also Tut, so I definitely want to, because sometimes, the behind the scenes is just as important as the supporting cast, or the prop managers and all that are more important sometimes than the actual the actors in it. But Kasise, you have something you want to add?
Yeah, I just want to say that the love and energy and healing that I felt over the weekend, I haven't felt that in a while. And, when my father first got arrested and when he went to Atlanta, I was so devastated by that situation that I didn't even know like all the support that he had in Atlanta. So I felt really separated. But just going there over the weekend, like Raphael said, and Yane, there was so much love, and just sharing the same space, eating together, breaking bread together. I learned a lot too at the conference. I've been so focused on my own father's campaign, but it's true to work together, to collaborate and everything and bring these campaigns. And we want our freedom fighters home. So I just want to say it was wonderful. I'm still feeling that energy and love from everyone. So we have to do it again.
Yeah. I want to point out too, your father's case, when I moved to Atlanta in 2004, was one of the first cases that we worked on. I remember we did massive rally downtown Atlanta. Shout out to Dr. Akinyele Amoja and others who assisted with that particular piece out there. And but I also wanted to point out that when we're talking about our political prisoners, we're dealing with a war. It's not an individual situation. It's not, well, support this one because of that or support that one because of this. That's not what it's about. It is war, and this is what comes with war. And I'm pointing that out because the same judge who convicted your father, Kamal Siddiqui, was the same judge who earlier convicted and sentenced Imam Jamil Al-Amin. You know what I mean? Her name was Stephanie B. Manis, and I would like to give a special rest in peace to her because she was a real piece of shit. You know what I mean? And she knew that she was dealing with folks who were innocent people, but her job was to railroad. You had something you wanted to add, Jared or Kim?
One question I just had was just, well, first of all, greetings and welcome to all three of you. It's good to see you all, and I appreciate everything you all have been doing, and I've been trying to keep up with it indirectly. It's been great to see, inspirational. But I was just wondering if you could say a few words about how all three of the PPs you're most immediately dealing with today are doing. How is your father? How is Dr. Matulu? How is Jamil Al-Amin, relatively speaking, obviously? And then just a follow up to that, how are you finding this moment in trying to raise support for them in their struggles? How is that going so far? Right now, like, what is this moment like for you all in doing that work?
Well, again, over the weekend, so I was there to visit my father on Saturday, and I had gotten a message from him saying that he was going to have surgery. And so he didn't go into detail. So I'm like, I know the last time they were trying to do surgery, they were trying to amputate his foot. So I'm like, what's up? So I was just really, like the uncertainty, not knowing. But he did reach out to me when I got back saying that he had a procedure done. He still didn't go into detail, but the procedure was on his left leg for the wound. And he just said that it's supposed to start healing in 3 weeks or show some results. So I guess that's positive. But I reach out to him, I continue, like I need more information, more details. And then also over the weekend, the warden wasn't there too. So, I had to get permission to see him, even though he had surgery. But anyway, so it's a process, again, and I mentioned this because this always stays with me, that the first time my family and I tried to go see him, my mom, I was the only one that was allowed in. So it's like trying to make sure that they have all the paperwork, everything they need, because I don't want to come to Atlanta from New York and then not be able to have a visit. And now the visits are 2 hours, which is no time, but it's the best time that I can get. So I'm so thankful again, with the support. Like for me, being on the campaign, being on Zoom, I felt like I didn't feel the connection initially. So this trip, like really being in person, and now I feel like I have the strength to really build on my father's campaign, which I didn't before. So
no doubt. Yane, I wanted to ask you for because I always have to remind myself, and I think we have to remind ourselves that there's always someone that's brand new that's going to come to the channel or that's going to stumble upon this interview, and they may be like, well, what is a political prisoner? So if you don't mind, define political prisoner. And I know that may sound elementary, but again, we're out to reach the masses, not the classes or the fastest bastards. So give us, tell us what a political prisoner is and why it is important to support political prisoners here in the U.S. in particular.
Sure. So it doesn't sound elementary. We should always be communicating about what a political prisoner is. There are always people who are going to need to know that there are people who don't even know, are not familiar with the term. And So, you know, political prisoners are people who are in prison not because of whatever crime it is that they may have been convicted of, but particularly because of their political beliefs and their political activities. And so if you are, you know, even right now, we have a lot of people who have been folk targeted since the 2020 uprisings for their activities that are political. You know, and so when a person has speaks out against injustice, when a person acts out against injustice and then are targeted because of that behavior and those activities, and captured by the state and put in behind the walls and behind bars and away from our community and away from our family for their politics, then they're political prisoners. And anyone who believes in justice, who wants to experience freedom, who wants to be involved in the fight to bring justice and freedom, equity, and just liberty and joy of our lives, and making those things real, and are willing to put in work to do that, and willing to speak up for that, they are automatically targets for the system to come after them and potentially become a new political prisoner. And so, we have to fight for our comrades who were actually targeted because they were putting their lives on the lines for us and standing up for us and standing up for justice and for what is right. And we have to do that also so that we don't begin to have a vacuum of people who will do that fight because they don't know, they don't have confidence that they won't be forgotten once they get swallowed by the system. So if we don't fight for our political prisoners, when we become political prisoners, we're not going to be, we can't expect for anyone to fight for us. So we're actually also still fighting for ourselves when we fight for our U.S. held political prisoners. And I say U.S. held political prisoners explicitly, not because I don't care about the political prisoners that are in other parts of the world, some of whom I'm also in contact with. I say U.S. held political prisoners because I want to make sure that it's explicitly clear when we talk about political prisoners here, that there are political prisoners here, because people often like to think that these kinds of things happen elsewhere in these backwards countries, these countries that they imagine be backwards, that we're taught are not as good as the US. But the US, just like it has the most number of prisoners in the world, unmatched anywhere near by the next highest country, we also have an immense number of people who are being held because of their politics and their political beliefs. And there's a core group that we focus on, which are those who were explicitly fighting for Black liberation, Indigenous liberation, that were explicitly fighting against these very particular combined race and class politics or issues in the United States of America. Those are our U.S. held political prisoners, and we have to fight for them until they are home by any means necessary.
No
Thank
doubt.
you for that, because
Yes.
it was just, I'm sorry, real quick, because I'll never forget, years ago, I'm in this class and this Argentinian sister is she's running the class, one of my favorite classes, and she's breaking down political prisoners in Argentina. And I was in the seat, like, yeah, I was getting amped. And I said, yeah, free all political prisoners. And I was like the ones we got here. She was like, there are no political prisoners in the United States.
Right.
And so when that happens again, all you got to do is just pull, click and just play that right there and just be like, and just sit back. So I appreciate you. Thank you very much. That was, anyway.
Yeah. And it's important to point out, like you just said, Jared, that the U.S. does not acknowledge political prisoners here in the United States. You know what I'm saying? They deem them criminals, right? I also want to point out one of the campaigns that we are giving a boost to is the campaign to free Veronza Bowers. Veronza Bowers it's going on his 17th year. I mean, maxed out already. His 17th year, he was on his way out the door. And these bastards, under Gonzalez, under U.S. Attorney General Gonzalez, which, by the way, there's been 6 other U.S. Attorney Generals since then, they put him on hold, and he's been on hold indefinitely. So he's been locked up 17 years. In September, it'll be 17 years beyond his time. The man's been locked up since 1973, going on 49 years in September. And folks don't even know his name. They're not even, when you talk about political prisoners, he's hardly, if ever, mentioned. So we definitely want to, want you all to stay tuned, because we would definitely be pushing a heavy campaign to free this man. For folks who think that, I hear people all the time talking about what they can't do. There ain't shit that they can't do, because they're doing it while you say they can't do it. Raphael, in closing, I want to know, just out of curiosity, what got you into the movement to fight for the rights of political prisoners, and how can, because there's folks out there checking us out right now, how can they get involved in the campaign to support these particular political prisoners we're speaking on today?
Well, to answer that first question, what got me involved in the movement to free political prisoners was Mumia Abu-Jamal. When I was first exposed to, I guess, his writing, maybe in about 2007, 2008, I just read him and he began to, as he continued to remind all of us, shift my perspective towards the people and not towards a capitalist or imperialist framework. And so as a result of him, learning from him, at some point I connected to the activities that were happening surrounding Freeing Mumia birthday weekend and in the summer. And I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, I was able to go down to Philly, be in that space of love and commemoration to Free Mumia. And after that, I joined the Free Maroon Coalition. And so that was my first experience organizing, being part, and then later on transitioning to the Free Kamal and continuing to Free Mumia. One thing that I want to encourage folks who are interested in connecting right now with the Love Not Fear campaign to Free Mumia, we are launching what's called Emerging Campaigns strategy. And what that is, going back to Dr. Ball's comment, it's an opportunity to bring the struggles, challenges, push to free political prisoners and release of all elders into one collectivized strategy. And so at some point, we're going to have a round table where representatives from different campaigns are going to be sitting. The first round table is actually tomorrow, June 17th, from noon to 2 p.m. And that's going to be an international kind of time zone friendly round table. The second one is going to happen Tuesday, June 21st, from, I believe it's 8 to 10 p.m., which is more West Coast time zone friendly. But again, the purpose is for us to finally come together, start learning from each other's coalition, what strategies are working, which ones may not work, and then eventually bring all that effort and energy together to start supporting each other's coalition. So again, this is the early phase of merging campaigns, but I believe that going forward, we'll have more power. We'll have more power as one collective in pushing the free political prisoners and elders at this point. So as we know, they're lingering in these toxicity prisons and jail environments, and physical ailments, mental, spiritual. And so as Yane Kasise mentioned, we got to get them out. We got to free them all. And so this is at least an opportunity where folks can decide to join this merging campaign. Or as I know Kalanji, Kim Brown, you all keep mentioning, join the organization. Join an organization who is struggling to free elders, political prisoners, and see exactly how you can bring your skill set and knowledge to that space. Because we need everybody hands on deck at this point.
No doubt. I want to because we're running out of time, I want to give Kasise some words, and then I want to Yane is going to tell us about this 40 city joint, and Atlanta will be on deck with that. You know what I'm saying? It's coming up on July 3rd. So Kasise has something to speak on, and then we're going to close out with Yane, if that's all right.
I'm just going to say, what's the call? Free them all.
Calls free them all. No doubt.
That's what I'm going to say.
Free them all.
Right on.
No doubt. No doubt.
So in consideration of time, I'll just jump right in with the July 3rd. So, July 3rd is actually the 40th anniversary of Mumia's conviction to death row. 40 years, 50 years, these people they're spending much too much time, no matter what it is that they may have been convicted of, particularly when we have stats that show that there's just nothing that they're going to do at this point. We want to bring attention to this 40 years of injustice for Mumia, as well as Raphael said, to all of the campaigns. Mumia is the most notorious, most well-known, internationally known U.S. held political prisoner, and he knows that the movement made shifts in order to accommodate him because he was on death row and they were about to murder him. And he appreciates that and also wants none of the other of his comrades to be in a shadow. He wants to elevate all of the campaigns as well, and still sees himself as part of a collective of a siblinghood. And so we want to use this date to remind people that Mumia deserves to be free, and also to remind people of all of our comrades that need to be coming home at the same time. So we're seeking to have 40 cities to represent the 40 years all around the country and around the world. And there are cities all around the world already on board who will organize solidarity actions if for people who cannot come to Philadelphia or who are not interested in coming to Philadelphia, who will learn about this reality on July 3rd, or if July 3rd is not right for what's going on in your community, on another day. And it can be a rally, it can be a march, it could be a film showing, it could be, driving around your car playing Mumia's voice, it could be a banner drop. But the way to find out about it is to go to lovenotfear.com/40 cities. And fear is spelled Philly style. So that's PHEAR. So lovenotfear.com. And then you can click on 40 cities, or you can type in /40 cities. There's a form you can fill out there. And then Raphael will get in touch with you, and help you to be able to clarify what it is you're doing, and give you some of the specifics of what we're doing here in Philadelphia that you could use as a model for yourself if you want to. So what's the call?
Free them all.
Free them all.
So bust it. I want to say this right now while you guys are on the screen. BPM is going to make a commitment for July 3rd. Wherever you all are broadcasting, tap in. Get with my man Dr. J or myself or whoever, Kamal, whatever, and let's talk about some coordinated efforts, because we want to make sure we love Mumia, and we want to make sure that Mumia's campaign and his plight is pushed as well. We've had him on the platform a few times, so we definitely want to make sure that the world knows that that we stand with Mumia Abu-Jamal as well. So make sure that you tap in with us, and let's make it bigger than what it is. Right?
Absolutely.
No doubt. We appreciate y'all coming on.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for having us.
No doubt. The cause free them all. See y'all next time. Check out the Remix Morning Show.
Very dope way to close out the morning and the week.
Outstanding. Thank you, Kamal. Kalanji. Shout out to Kamal. My bad.
No doubt.
Yo, speaking of Kamal, he ain't been around. He been out here in these streets, I see. Yeah.
Okay.
Kamal's latest, he's been out here in these streets getting it.
No doubt.
Okay.
No doubt. Hey, yeah. He stays busy. Shout out to Community Movement Builders. Listen, real quick before we get out of here, tomorrow, please come back again, 8 a.m. for our Mix What I Like. We're going to have one of the things we're going to do is we're going to feature that great clip from Kalanji, your recent interview with Daruba, and build from that and talk about the after party. And then we got Zizwe Kajuka coming on to talk about the anniversary of the call for Black Power, which is, I believe, tomorrow, 56th anniversary. Kwame Ture and All African People's Revolutionary Party. And then what else is coming? We got, who else is, I believe Luke My Nation will be back Friday night, right?
Okay.
Kim, You
Yep.
burn it down.
We will burn it down.
tomorrow?
We will burn it down. We'll be burning it down tonight. I'm going to be on RBN with Savvy Sabs and JB Font, having a discussion, I believe, about colorism. We're going to be talking about, you know, the ways that colorism still impacts your ability to move and not move in the year 2022, despite all the embracing of, you know, highly melanated people. Colorism definitely is still a real thing out here. So we're going to be talking about that at 6 o'clock over on RBN.
No doubt.
Right.
Shout out to
We got a warrior class coming up this Saturday.
Warrior class Saturday.
No doubt.
And my manager said no Sundays. They got something planned for me. My managers are my kids.
Oh, I was gonna say.
They said, listen, it's Father's Day. We got something planned for you. So
it's Father's Day, yeah, Dr. C. And that's how I know it. That is the mark of a good father. When your kids want to do something for you on Father's Day, that means that you have been a good father the other 364 days of the year. So that tells me a lot about you, ear doctor. That
thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Be quiet, Kalonji. I see your face.
Kalonji's kids got planned for him. Nothing. I'm just playing.
They actually do. So there. Take that.
Again,
But anyway.
and I knew that, but I see.
Oh,
I
it's all good. And shout out to my daughter.
All I'm gonna say is they better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My oldest just turned 33 a few days ago, so shout out to my daughter Q.
Hey.
Right on.
You know what I mean? You know,
Feliz cumpleaños.
I'm a grown ass man. I just want y'all to know that. But anyway, we appreciate you all checking out the Remix Morning Show and supporting Black Power Media. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you retweet and hashtag and all that good stuff. We are growing slowly but surely, and we're forever grateful. We're forever grateful that you all decide to rock with us. Thank you all, and for the soldiers out there, all the ants out there, People's Army out there, the Siafus putting in that work. We appreciate you, because no one, you know, there's no love for the revolutionary out here, but you know, we love you because that's who we are. Remix Morning Show. We'll be back at you once again. Have a great weekend. Tune in tomorrow. Black Owl.
Peace.